Hello, this is Deborah Atkinson, and you're listening to the Voice for Fitness Professionals podcast. And that is where I share information about programming, marketing, and selling so that you can create a business and a life that you love without being a sales, sleaze, or pushy person behind the desk. And I have a little secret, a confession before we even begin. I am currently recording this from my sauna. So this is definitely multitasking at its best, or potentially its worst. It's not truly relaxing, but there are some ideas after having come back from California Mania, Sarah City Workout, or SCW's program in San Francisco this weekend, where I presented 4 times. 3 out of 4 of those times were about marketing and social media strategies, social media that's not a hot mess, and marketing to women in midlife. And, if we tell the truth with that, we're marketing to them on social media because that is an outlet we have to use. But social media is baffling. It's frustrating. That came out loud and clear. And how do we do that without it taking all of my time? So one particular fitness pro yesterday morning in my early morning, 7 a.m., by the way, session said to me, how do I do this? Because I'm working between, 2 different businesses and I'm in locations. So I'm in and out, and I'll do something here and then I'll do something management oriented. And my time is all spoken for, but that's like from 6 a.m. until, sometimes I'm not home when you include the commute until 9 p.m. during the week. So the only time really that I could do this would be the weekends. And, what do I do? Do I look at my wife and say, hey, honey, you're going to be on your own for a little while because I'm going to spend 5 hours doing this. And so here's the thing. My answer to that question, and I regret not going deeper into it with him, but my answer to that question is any task that you have to do will expand to the time that you give it. So, if you said, I've got to work on this, and you didn't say, I'm working on this for 1 hour, that's really what you need to do. You need to set your time limit, and you need to commit a regular time to doing it. And we could turn the tables on this. It's such a great analogy, as so many things are, right? Don't you hate it when the advice you give comes back to bite you in the butt? And that's exactly what's happening right here is, we tell clients, or I do, when they say it just takes too much time, I don't have any time, I will say, let's start with the time you do have. What's reasonable? What could you afford? Could you do 10 minutes 3 times a week? Could you do 20 minutes 3 times a week? And, it'll be jaw dropping, and they'll be like, well, is that enough? And it's like, well, it's certainly 500% better than you did last week. So yes, we'll build a program for that time. And I'll let them know next. What we hope happens is that you become codependent, that you like it so much, and you realize that exercise doesn't take time, but it gives you time back. You actually have more energy. You're more productive when you are working. You're not just killing time. You're not being distracted. You're able to focus because your mind is quiet when your body has been able to be noisy for a little while. That's how it works. Now, there's a similar analogy for you because, yes, you too need to exercise and you can focus on it, but there's the drain of not doing the thing, or there's the just sit down and do the thing for an hour. And you now don't have to worry about it. You don't have to have that guilt hanging over your head. And if you don't know all the answers yet, that I realize will still be a potential source of frustration, but here's the difference. It's a frustration that at least you know. When you know at least the questions to ask, you're not just in a dark hole saying, well, I don't know what to do. Because really the truth, if you're very, very honest, and I'm not being condescending, but I do this myself, so I know it's true. The thing you're worried about, the frustration of not knowing how to do it, is really partly because you're not in there doing it. as soon as you start to take that first step, right, you know your next foot is going in front of that, you will know at least what questions to ask. And you know by now somebody, if not me, you've got some mentor who is your social media person that you look up to that you can go back to and get some counsel for that. So I really want to let you know that social media is not so frustrating. At least give yourself the opportunity to get in there, be in it, test it, do just what we tell a client to do. Do X, Y, and Z. Only X, Y, and Z. Let's do that 3 times a week. Let's test whether we've got results. Let's see how you're doing. If you need to increase your weight, if we need to decrease the weight, if you're feeling more energetic, if you're feeling more tired, we'll change your program based on your feedback. And likewise with social media, when you know what to measure, because you do with a client, of course, they're going to jump on the scale, but you're going to look at inches. You're going to look at their girth measurements. You're going to look at their body composition, where specifically they're storing their fat, where they're more muscular on one side versus the other, and all the things that might be going on with them, including hydration. You're going to look at that from a testing standpoint. You're not going to guess at it. And likewise with social media, you've got to know what to measure. You know, but they don't know, right? I mean, how many clients do you have to tell no, no, and no? Not BMI. We want body composition. We want body fat. That's what tells us really what's going on. And yet, it seems like the back of your hand to you, because you do it every day, all the time, and you have done it potentially for years, but they haven't. And likewise with social media, there are things that you don't know that somebody, if you look around or you look at me, we can help you with that. Some of those questions are easy questions, like you are gracious and super glad to share in a blog or a video with anybody with the world, right? Get body fat tested. And so am I. There are some of those basic questions. You don't have to have a coaching mentor relationship. If you want to go deeper, absolutely that's an option. But there are a lot of people that you can ask. Don't just go ask Dr. Google, because any more than your clients are going to find the perfect answer for them and their unique problem on the internet, neither will you. So describe what's going on for you. Describe what you've tried. Get some support for what your actual next step should be. And it may be a quick fix. It may just be as easy as that. And that changes everything. But you've also then got to know, what are you measuring? It's not just likes, shares, and comments. That ship has sailed, right? So if you have tons of people and you're looking at, look how much we've grown, it really doesn't matter if you're not monetizing, making money from those people. Are they becoming customers? Are they first becoming subscribers? Are they first showing up regularly and asking questions? If you have no signs that that's happening, then you need to change what we call the funnel. Social media is not the end all. Social media is the beginning, and you want to move them off of social media as quickly as you possibly can to your email list, your subscriber list, because that's where you can have a real conversation and help them. If you don't have something juicy enough that they're willing to put their hand up and say, here, take my email because I'd love to get that, you need to be working on that. Social media is not as confusing as it may seem, but I would love to hear your comment on that and your questions, and have you commit to starting right now, the week that begins with the end of this podcast, to doing X amount of minutes or hours per day and or week, but commit to doing it regularly. That's what makes the difference between people who win on social media and their overall marketing campaign and those who don't. Leave your question below the podcast. And if this was helpful, I would love it if you would share this on iTunes. It really helps us spread the word and build and grow credible quality trainers and build a more established fitness industry for all of us. If you'd like help with your social media, there are 2 ways you can get it. You can get it with custom private coaching. for 90 days. You and I meet every single week. Between that, you have homework, my friend, but you will know what it is you're doing and why you're doing it. And we will look at it together and measure the effectiveness of doing it. But if you'd rather wrap it in a different kind of package for actually almost the same price tag, I will work with a small group for 4 months after they've gone through the Flipping 50 specialist. So if becoming a hormone balancing expert for fitness, specifically for women who are in perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause, look at the Flipping 50 specialist, or better yet, the advanced specialist. Comes with not just the program, not just the coaching content, and access to 2 years of our templates, the ones that I use to assess brand new members in groups or private coaching clients. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can actually get the template, and your address, phone number, contact information is automatically populated the way that you want it. You can manipulate it, but you don't have to reinvent the wheel, create programs with assessments, pull them off the internet, copy them, rewrite them, retype them. It's all done for you. You can have that and 4 months worth of a private Facebook group where we mastermind. The only people in the group have gone through the program, but we're talking about how you now leverage your knowledge. And anything is fair game. We'll talk about how you offer, how you make the package and create the offer that's irresistible. We'll talk about your launch when you're ready to go, or if you're already in action training, when you're ready to launch a new program. We'll talk about how you do that, what happens in the 4 to 6 weeks building up to it, so it's far more successful than if you just suddenly say, hey, we're having a sale, flash sale, and you discount. Let's just stop doing that right now and earn you more money and develop a sense of greater value for what you do for your clients in terms of transformation going forward. So if that's of interest to you right now is the time to get in. You can save up to $100 on the Flipping 50 Advanced Specialist with CERT, CERT 10. And you'll find all the details and the links to visit flipping50.com/specialist in the show notes for today's show at fitnessmarketingmastery.com/social media.